What is up, rock and metal fans? So, yes, I'm back again with another addition to the series for those about a rock. A bit about the series. Again, it's where I pick, the top three records by different bands, or, the number one record by certain bands that for people who are new to the rock and metal genre, they should definitely check those albums out. Good places to start. I try to offer my opinion about each of those songs and so on and albums, and I'd love to hear from many of you. I mean, I have heard, in fact, from a lot of you, which in fact leads me into this one because quite a few guys were, in fact, saying that, you've done an extensive thing on, quite a few bands and all that. How come you didn't have anything on Deep Purple? And to be honest with you, I don't know how I didn't have this done sooner than doing it right now. But hey, better late than never. But Deep Purple is definitely one of my favorite bands. Band that, I just kind of wore out some of their albums back in the day and so on. I still listen to them extensively even now. And I gotta hand it to them. I mean, like 20 records, later studio albums later, they're already about to, I think in June this year, release their 21st album, which I think is going to be called Whoosh. Yeah. But what I just want to get into is just talking to a lot of you guys out there who are new to Deep Purple, or guys who may not be too familiar with the discography, might know a couple of songs. What are the albums to really listen to? So, without further ado, let me get into it. This is the first album you guys should definitely check out. Deep Purple in Rock. Okay, now there's a reason why this is such a huge fan favorite, and it's definitely an album that I like a lot. It has some classic tracks here like Bloodsucker, the actual original version, obviously, of Child in Time, because on, compilation editions and all that, they always cut that song down, and I don't think it does it justice when you hear it that way. This is the way in which you actually should hear it. I think Ian Gillan's voice on this is phenomenal. And you have songs like, Flight of the Rat, Living Wreck, Into the Fire. Obviously, the album opens up with, the what I would like to call the proper version of Speed King. Because, again, compilation versions just don't do that song justice. But I think the real crowning achievement on this album is the song Black Knight. I could just play that song in a continuous loop for, hours on end and just not get bored. I mean, it is such a classic tune. God, I can't even believe I'm using the word classic. But what I mean to say is that it's a song that's timeless. It's got a quality to it that makes it a great rock song, a great, sort of anthem, but at the same time, something that really stands out in a very strong way. So, all in all, guys, definitely do check this album out. And I just have to say this, I just love the cover art on this, just like a whole play on the Mount Rushmore thing. So I'm sure when it actually came out back in the day with those giant, records, which we used to have the LPs and so on, this will look great. Okay, so the next one is obviously the holy grail of what I would consider to be the holy grail of Deep Purple's catalog. What makes this band so iconic? I mean, every band has that one iconic album where everything just comes together, but this is something that stands, so high up among, so many other of their contemporaries and peers. And you can just trace it also and just break it down to two particular songs on this record, which are Highway Star, which is the opening track. And if you guys haven't heard it already, please do. And obviously the iconic riff from the song Smoke on the Water. That is the riff that most fans argue and agree would be that if you were to introduce anyone to rock or metal, that would be really the song or the riff you'd introduce them to first. And it's the song or the riff that a lot of guys who are guitar or, aspirants, guys who want to be guitar heroes and all that, they always try to learn that riff immediately. And that is one of the most recognizable riffs in, rock and metal overall. But not to be left out, I mean, you have other great tracks like, Maybe I'm Leo, Pictures of Home, Lazy, Space Trucking. And guys, I have to advise you on this one thing. Please, if you ever get this record or if you download it or stream it or whatever, please get the anniversary editions because that includes the 8th track, which is When a Blind Man Cries. And believe me, oh my God, this is one hell of a ballad. In fact, I would say that the ballad that stands on par with this is a song that was actually composed, which I think came on the Stormbringer album with, when David Coverdale was actually leading the band, was a song called, Soldier of Fortune. I would put it on par with this song, but When a Blind Man Cries, oh man, I mean, this is a song that's so memorable on many levels. And overall, this is the album that you've really got to keep in mind. So Machine Head is something that you really got to listen to and soak in. The third album that I would actually pull out would be this one, which is Perfect Strangers. This is when the classic, Mark II lineup, if I'm not wrong on that, they were the ones, so obviously for Deep Purple in rock, Machine Head and now Perfect Strangers, when they had sort of, reunited in the 80s and they sort of came out with this album. But the title track is really what says it all. I mean, that's a song that you've really got to hear to believe. Phenomenal guitar work and drumming. I think Ritchie Blackmore, there's a reason why he's the guitar god, on par with, greats like Tony Iommi from Black Sabbath and Jimmy Page from Led Zeppelin. Ritchie is so, such a versatile player and so on. And I mean, if you love his work here, and I will be doing sort of a review on his other band, which was Rainbow. So look out for that, that'll come soon. But I mean, his playing on this album was really something. And I think John Lord also needs to be applauded as well for the kind of, stuff that he came up with. So Perfect Strangers, songs like, Knock at Your Back Door, Under the Gun, Mean Streak, A Gypsy's Kiss, Hungry Days, really great stuff. And if you can, try and get the one with the bonus track, which has Son of Alaric, if I'm getting that right. Sorry if I'm not, but that's a song that you really also got to, try and check out. Now, guys, I know that I've, for this series, I've always done like either one record from a band or 3 records from a band, but this is the one time, and I don't know, there might be others, but this is the one time when I just could not leave out something. So I am going to include a bonus album here, 4th one, and I'd have to pick this one. I mean, this was so close to Perfect Strangers, and this is actually when you had David Coverdale, who was then an unknown, figure, believe it or not. And, he went on obviously to become a legend with Whitesnake and so on. You had him, you had Glenn Hughes, joined Ritchie Blackmore, John Lord, and Ian Pace. And this is an album that is so strong. It is so phenomenal on many levels. The texture, the layers, the riffs, the lyrics, just the overall impact that this album, has. I mean, a lot of Purple fans love this record. I mean, of the 3 records, I think that David did with them, which was Burn, the subsequent one, which is Stormbringer, and then there was Come Taste the Band, when Ritchie had obviously left, and he had a one-time guitarist, which is Tommy Bolin, God rest his soul. He was on that, but fun records to check out. But Burn is really the one which fans say is, the classic album by, when David was actually, leading this group. So guys, those are my thoughts. Those are the albums I think that, you need to listen to, because obviously Purple has an extensive discography. So it was a bit tricky in a certain sense, especially for the 3rd spot, but I just had to include this. So let me know what you guys think. I would love to hear from you, whether you agree or disagree. Hey, it's just my opinion. Love to know yours. Thanks again for all the support and sending in your comments and, requesting me to do different ones. And I will catch you guys soon. So take care, guys, and rock on.